Hello fellow wreckers, I'm your host Ricky from TGRS. We were lucky enough this year to have gone to Gamescom. Both myself and Ludo had quite the treat as we sat with Kevin and Beth from Team17 to play two new shining wicked games, Worms WMD and the Escapists. Visit tgrs.net for more articles, videos and other stuff for your viewing, and don't blink, you'll miss all the good bits.
What gives the Escapists its appeal is you have that objective of breaking out of prison, and you can go about achieving that objective in a hell of a lot of different ways. And obviously The Walking Dead, you familiar with The Walking Dead?
Yes.
Okay, the comics or the TV series or both?
The comic book and the TV series.
Cool. So anyway, this is based on the comic book, this is a license from the comic book. So The Walking Dead obviously is linear, it's a narrative. The Escapists has no narrative, it's a sandbox game, it's intentionally narrativeless. So we were thinking about how we might marry these two franchises together. The way this got started was Merryweather Correctional, the prison, and there being so few prison break games out there, we thought it'd be really cool if we could get a license, maybe do it as a promotional pack for the Escapists, or maybe do it as some DLC. The more we talked about it, the more we got excited about working on such a license as The Walking Dead, and all the things that we might be able to do in the game. So yeah, it made sense to cherry pick the environments that work the best for the Escapist gameplay, and then we approached Skybound about the potential of making a full standalone title. We were lucky if we were able to do that. So anyway, I'm going to show you the first level. It starts at the start of The Walking Dead, and how we tell the story of The Walking Dead is taking comic panels from the key story beats of The Walking Dead, and recreating them in the pixel art style of the Escapists.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. It's just a big smile on my face when I saw it. I recognise that.
Alright. So as I said, it starts at the start where Rick wakes up in hospital.
Yeah.
And this is, as much as possible, staying as true as possible to the narrative of the Escapists. So he wakes up in hospital, the first thing that Rick does is he finds his clothes and he gets dressed.
Is this before or after he loses his arm?
This is before, so this is literally following on from the comic sequence that we just watched.
Okay.
So then we're straight into the Escapist gameplay. You are exploring the environment, searching through desks, finding things that you can craft and repurpose to help you achieve your goal. So the first thing I pick up is a pillowcase. The second thing that I pick up is a bar of soap. And I'm going to craft these into a really sort of like low-powered, kind of weak but rudimentary weapon. Equip that. Make my way through the hospital, and yeah, the story panels come back sometimes to tell the key beats of the story. So that's an event where Rick opens the lift and a walker falls out. I don't know if you remember any of this. Yeah. So yeah, Rick's making his way through the hospital. He wants to go this way, but his progress is blocked. So he has no choice. The player has no choice other than to engage this first walker in combat, and using that simple weapon that I crafted, knock that walker out, search his pockets. More crafting, key ingredient from the Escapist, everybody loves it, duct tape. Duct tape and two files makes a tool for cutting through metal. Move the desk, climb into the air vents, cut through the air vents, and we can keep progressing through the level. So as I said, this first level is quite unlike the gameplay from the Escapists. It's a little bit on rails, it's a bit more focused, but it's acting as the tutorial and it's really serving only to teach the fundamentals of the controls. This is where Rick discovers a canteen full of walkers. There are far too many of them for him to take on, so my only option is to be chased through the level by them. Getting here to relative safety, that's Rick taking his belt off and securing the door behind him. New feature in the Escapists Walking Dead is guns. There weren't guns in the Escapists. It didn't make sense to have guns in the Escapists, but we couldn't really make a Walking Dead game without guns. So in this game, this plays a little bit like a twin-stick shooter, but the game absolutely is not a twin-stick shooter. Just like in The Walking Dead, resources, ammo, guns are very precious and they're hard to come by. But there are some sections where you can shoot zombies. In fact, there are plenty of sections where you can shoot zombies, but if you were to play cleverly, it's still about the strategy of the Escapists, conserving items, using items where they're most appropriate to achieve your goal. So this is getting towards the end of the first level now, and I've really breezed through it so we can fit everything. So this ends with like a simple shootout. I'm going to walk out this level soon, and when I leave this level, we get the outro sequence. We're work in progress right now. We're going to expand on these, but this is kind of telling the story of Rick leaving the hospital. A lot of time passes in the comics until we pick up again with the game. So Rick wanders the wasteland, is reunited with his family. The next environment will be Herschel's farm, and when we get to Herschel's farm, that is much closer to the gameplay of the Escapists. So in the Escapists, you're trying to manage your time between putting your escape route into action, but also doing all sorts of things to avoid raising the suspicion of the guards. And that's how the gameplay works in the next level. So Rick is the leader of the band of survivors in the environment. He does menial tasks such as it gives motivational speeches, keeps the group of survivors happy and morale high, basically. Cleans the compound, cooks for them, and the reason that he does that is that they earn his trust, and it keeps the other walkers at bay by keeping things ticking over, essentially.
Yeah.
At the same time you're managing those menial jobs, you're trying to put the plan in action to fulfill that level's objective. So the objectives are bespoke per level. So in Herschel's farm, it's the sequence where Herschel's barn is full of walkers because he's not entirely sure.
They need to
what
find out what the little girl's gone missing.
Well, it's actually in the game to clear the barn to move to the next environment. So at the same time you're doing the odd jobs, you're kind of searching the wasteland, finding resources to arm your other survivors, and then storm the barn, take on the barn, and then move through the next level.
Right.
And yeah, I think in a nutshell, I mean, quickly, if you have any questions about this game, what you do?
Just a couple of things. You said it was out in Q4. Obviously, it's going to be out for PC, but what sort of distribution platforms are you looking at?
It's coming first to PC and Xbox.
Right, and it's like going through Steam?
Yes.
Right, okay, so we can look forward to seeing that. Will it be pre-release as well? Pre-order?
I don't know, actually, Ben. Do you know if we'll pre-order? So we're still in development. I think we're still figuring those kind of things out.
Okay then. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
It's been absolutely fantastic.